Oyindamola Ayodeji-Oni. Oyindamola Ayodeji-Oni is a seasoned pharmacist, business analyst, and certified lead auditor with over 11 years of experience. She is an expert in healthcare, market research, consulting, regulatory affairs, and health tech. She led Advantage Health Africa through the rigorous ISO 9001:2015 certification as Vice President for Quality Assurance and Government Relations. Previously, she managed Nigeria's pioneering franchise pharmacy chain, overseeing over 50 retail pharmacies. Oyindamola is a recognized business structure expert, coaching over 100 retail pharmacy owners through the Business Accelerator program. She has also authored 2 books on business efficiency titled Dear Business Owner and Unscrambled, and have received rave reviews. She will be speaking at Power Mom Support Circle on scaling for impact, strategies for sustainable business growth. Registration is free. Click link in bio to sign up now. This program is brought to you by Power Moms Africa. All right, so we just heard our speaker's profile now, and you'll be hearing her voice shortly. She's highly seasoned, highly sought after. I'll really encourage every one of us to keep our hearts open, get your writing materials, get your questions ready, because we don't get this opportunity every time. So I really like us all to maximize this beautiful opportunity we all have. So you have the mic, Oyindamola. Thank you.
Hi, Ariola. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Please confirm if you can hear me. All right. Hi. Good afternoon, everybody. Excited to be here. I am a fellow power mom. I think I should put that out. So it's wee. It's not. I hear my profile read sometimes. I'm usually shy, but yeah, we'll try, see what we can do, and then hopefully you get good enough value from this. So I know that not everyone is a business owner here. And so what I've done is, instead of just tailoring this to systems in business, I have also, created things about systems, personalized systems that can help us to, achieve greater, how do I put it now? Achieve greater efficiency with the things that we do, even though we all have the same, time is never enough, so to speak. So I'm going to have to share my screen, and I'm not currently the host, so I think Irene has to let me share, and then I start to share. But yeah, before I'm able to share my screen, I'm happy to know that a lot of people are in the yellow zone. For me, I am not in the yellow zone. I think I'm somewhere in that purple zone, because I have audits. So when I have audits to prepare for like that, I am both an auditor and the audited. So I'm usually very worried. And I actually have audit on Monday, and then a number of other things. 2 audits between Monday and December 5th. So yeah, but we'll do it. So let me know if I can share my screen now, then I go ahead. Or
yes, you can. You can.
All right, great.
You can share your screen. Yes, you can share your screen.
All right, so I'll do that in a bit. I'm trying to. It's been so long. I used Zoom to share my screen, so now I'm looking for it. And whatever is open somewhere else. So I think I have to first open it up. All right. Please let me know when my screen is up. Let me know if you can see my screen. Okay, great. My screen is up now.
Yes, it's up now.
All right. So today we're talking about scaling for impact, strategies for sustainability in life and business. And quick session outline. Basically, what does it mean to scale? What are systems and why do they matter? Characteristics of fail-proof systems, how to create your systems, improving your systems, and then next steps. I know that somebody might be wondering, we're talking about scaling, and then you just said something about scaling and you have jumped into systems. And that's basically because the only way you are actually ever going to be able to scale anything is to have a system, that is backing that thing up, or a system through which you do that thing, and a system through which you can allow other people do that thing alongside yourself. So at the end of this session, I'm hoping that you will understand what it means to scale your business and your personal results. You understand what systems are, why you need them. And then most importantly, you'll be empowered to create and apply systems that drive consistency, efficiency, and sustainable growth across your business operations if you have a business, and also across your personal life. So yeah, all of this about scale. What is scale? Anybody? Please, somebody should answer me. I don't like feeling like I'm talking to myself.
Me, I'm personally happy to be in this session because I'm one of your followers on Instagram. So,
Oh, wow.
and I've been seeing all those tips that you used to give us. So I'm with my Bible and book already to learn as much as I can. So I think scaling means to grow, kind of, to grow.
Yeah. Any other person? One more person, and then I'll go on.
Okay. So from what I understand let me say from my understanding of geography, like in secondary school then, where they give us a map and they give us a scale. So if you are to enlarge this map, this is the scale you are going to use to enlarge it. So from that idea, I would say scaling your business probably means giving it all it needs to actually grow, like expanding your business, taking it to the next level, like we say. Yeah, that's what I think.
So scaling. Basically, scaling is growth, right? But scaling is not the same as growing, in the sense that to scale is to grow in capacity and do more without essentially a corresponding increase in cost or resources. What does that mean? Scaling would be that if I run a business right now and we produce 100 things and I have 3 staff, if we want to produce 1,000, I don't exactly have to increase to 30 staff to do times 10 of what they were doing. I probably increase to 6 people and they can do 1,000, right? If you were going to grow the business, you will grow in revenue, yes, but you would also grow in the resources, in your operational expenses, your OPEX, and things like that. So basically, it is that when you, unlike simple growth, which often will require you to, put more input every time you have additional work, scaling enables you to expand effectively by optimizing the systems and creating efficiencies. So I have a team and we currently do 500,000 naira in a week, but we want to now do 3 million in a week. I don't exactly have to, have multiply my team by 6 to ensure that they can 6x our revenue, or I want to cut down waste, or I want to, do better things. I don't exactly have to also increase what I am, the energy that I expend. In personal life, if you want to scale, basically what it will mean will be things like for example, you have 3 children, you had 1 child, and maybe you spend 3 hours getting the child ready. You don't have 9 hours, right, to get 3 children ready. You need to ensure that you create those systems where you can still get those children ready in maybe 4 hours, in maybe 30, not exactly multiplying your work by the number of X that you want the results to be. That's what it is. So it's not like because I spend 10 hours at work and then of course you are still a mom, you are still a wife, you are still other things. If you do not understand how to scale your results appropriately, you will always be burnt out because you will be awake from morning till midnight and you have still not finished what you're doing because there are a lot of lapses here and there that, are taking hold of the things that you're supposed to be doing. So scaling really is about growing strategically, expanding outputs and outcomes, but keeping expenditures relatively stable. So whether that is expenditure in money, expenditure in time, expenditure in energy, it's really about not overextending yourself or compromising on quality, not because, I have to produce 1,000 items, I will now give them shabby results. And then you now go and start explaining. It's not like that. I had to outsource this one, so they didn't sew it well, so they didn't trim it well, so this and that, So while you are growing, you need to ensure that the quality of your life remains at least constant, and the things you're also able to do will stay constant. For example, I'm going to use myself.
No, I connected with her on Instagram. So it's like mom in something, but she's been doing.
So much to speak. All right. So I was saying that I'm going to use myself as a personal example, right? And talk about the things that maybe I currently do, and how I've been able to manage some things, right, as we go along. Now that we've spoken about scaling, and you've heard system. So what are systems? What exactly is a system? Basically, a system is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things coming together to create one result. For example, digestive system, right? It's not exactly just the mouth. It's not exactly just the stomach. It's not exactly just this, but many things are coming together to create that digestive system for a human being. Your central nervous system is different things, your brain, your this, your that, your that. The thing is, all of those things by themselves as individual entities, individual things, do different things. They have their own work that they're doing. However, the way that they come together, one with another, is what makes them that particular system. And what it does is that it structures the results that you're going to get, and then those results are consistent and they're repeatable. For example, the end of your digestive process as a human being is that you get to use the restroom, right? When you are unable to do that properly because there is something affecting that system, you then get a constipation. Sometimes you get a diarrhea. It's not because anything is from the outside has affected it, but it's because the things are working together in that system. Something has affected a part of them. The entire system is not like each part has broken loose. It doesn't mean that your stomach is bad, your mouth is bad, your teeth is bad, your esophagus is bad. No, but it means that maybe something entered through your mouth and then has affected every other thing, right? So basically, and I know that a lot of times when we talk about systems, there's also that thing about people thinking it's one very deep sentence or statement that only a few people can do it. In layman terms, a system is your own code for how we do it here. Meaning, my morning routine is my system for getting ready in the morning. Simple. I wake up at 5, I pray, I go to the kitchen, I do this, I do that, I do this. By 7, the child is ready to go to school. That's my morning system. Another person's morning system is that they wake up at 4:30. It doesn't mean that your system is bad or that my system is better. What it means is that it works for us. We do it this way because it works for us. Simple. So my system will not be your system. However, our system should ensure that we all get tangible, efficient results at the end, right? So I've seen this thing somewhere, and I think it just resonates with me. So I say it every time I'm going to talk about systems. And that's the fact that system is saving you so much time, energy, and money. And it's so, how do I put it? It's so funny when people think a system is something so difficult. Because for me, I think that a system is actually helping you to make things not difficult, right? And it's very rare for anybody to actually do something for a long term and do it consistently with results, with the same type of results without having a system to it. And trust me, even bad things has a system to it. And that's the reason why you will hear things like, if somebody meets with a particular person or goes to a particular place, they are very likely to do something they don't like. Because those two things, that person and that place, are coming together in a particular way to deal with their mind, and then they're able to do things that they really don't want to do. So it's really about how you continue to get the results that you get. And so if you're maybe a business owner right now and you believe that the results you are getting are not the results you desire to get, then it means that it's time to actually sit down and, review your systems. Because again, the systems that probably worked for you when you had one child won't work when you have three. And you need to understand that. The time management practices you had for your personal life when you had one child won't work. And I mean, maybe you had one child, you were not working, or you were working from home, will not work when you have two children, you work a full-time job, and also run a business. You need to do things differently. So that's what it really is. And it's important to know that it's not anything highfalutin, it's not anything out of reach for anybody. Even if you don't speak English, you can create a system, because it's not language-based, it's nothing out of the world. Everybody just can create a system. People that go to school, they know that they wake up at this time, they do this, they do this. The problem with, okay, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Please let me know if I'm too fast. Because when I'm talking about things like this, I get very passionate, and
No, you're okay. Your face is fine.
So why do systems matter? Systems matter because you want things to be clear and you want things to be consistent. Systems matter because you want to be able to do this thing again. Whatever it is you have done that you like, that worked, you want to be able to do it again and again and again. You don't want that your fried rice to be a one-hit wonder. That cooked it that day, but I can't cook it again.
I want.
Right? And it's just something.
You ate all the plantain. Now after the mix. Why don't you mix the plantain?
It could just have been.
Together.
Can everybody please mute? Thank you. It could just have been that it was a coming together of the type of the pot. All right. That fried rice that you cooked.
Sorry, Oyindamola, I had to mute everyone. Kindly unmute yourself, please.
To cook again. Can you hear me? I have. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me? All right, great.
Yes,
Great, thanks.
we can.
Yes, we can.
All right. Thank you. So I was saying that I used an example of somebody making fried rice and they were able to get a particular taste one time, but they want to get it again. And honestly, that's just as simple as maybe they use a different kind of pot to cook it. Maybe they use a different type of oil to cook it. Maybe the carrots they used this time was already going bad. But if you don't take note of the differences in the things that you have done, you won't realize why you have a different result. And if you don't know why you have a different result, then it's very easy for you to say it's something other than your input that made things not work properly. So because you want things to be clear and consistent, then you want things to be scalable, meaning that using my fried rice example, you've cooked 4 cups of fried rice and it's great. But you want to cook 10 cups of fried rice. And you don't want to cook 4-4-2. You want to cook it together. How are you going to ensure that now it doesn't change in taste? You want it to be scalable. Oh, you've done that fried rice. One of your colleagues visited you and tasted it and spoke about it at work. In fact, your boss said, cook that fried rice for us. We'll pay you. And then suddenly it's tasting like something you don't understand. That's really because something has changed in that system, right? Again, systems matter because you can have streamlined efforts. You are not all over the place. Today, you don't say, oh, let me call my customer when I sell to them. Then tomorrow, I'm not calling this person. Then the third day. So somebody that has come to you, done business with you, and told your friend that you're so cheerful, and then the next time they approach your business, they're working with your staff, and your staff is not bothered to be cheerful. But here they came because you are cheerful. However, you don't have a customer management system that is supposed to make that person get the same result, regardless of the person who is at the back of that phone when they call. So your efforts are all over the place, meaning that you're going to spend more time and energy now trying to convince the person because they will call you and say, I came to your store, I was treated somehow. Then you start to plead. When in actual sense, one single word document will change all of that. From the beginning, continuous improvement is another reason why you need to have systems. Because it's easy for you to know that there's a problem. If you have a system, if you've created a system and something is not working, all the elements of the system you can look at and say, okay, it's this part that is causing this problem. But if you don't have a system, you really cannot say what is causing your problem. So you don't know whether it's the number of days you used to create the stuff, the kind of fabric you used. You don't know whether it's the kind of internet, whatever. It could be anything. But if you have a system, you can easily pick out that part that is not working, take care of the gaps, right? And then make it work together. Then, of course, focus. You don't have enough time to waste it. So you want to be able to do stuff, I mean, very in line with streamlined efforts, but you want to be able to do stuff with a laser focus. So I have 10 minutes to do this. Let me do pam, 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 and I'm done. And of course, this one is for, especially when maybe you're a business owner or something, and you feel like, if I maybe put systems in my business, people can take advantage of me. Systems offer you that control to be able to hold your business together, to be able to hold your life together, to be able to know that, okay, if I do this and that, I will get this result. And so I control the results that I'm getting in my business, in my work, and all of those things, right? Are we together so far? Please let me
Yes,
know.
we are.
Yes, we
Yes,
are.
we are.
Yes, we are together.
Thank you.
Yes, we are.
So like I said, you most likely already have a system for doing most things. The problem in many cases is that your systems are not defined, right? And because they are not defined, they are not clearly outlined, they're not documented, so you cannot implement them effectively. So what it means is that even though you, for example, can continue to do the same things because you've been doing it over time, if you bring one extra person maybe into your house, okay, help me clear this space, they suddenly cannot do it the way you would do it. So it means that you brought somebody in, but you will still have to do it yourself because they don't know how to do it. Remember, the system is a code word for how we do it here. So if somebody comes in and they don't get how you do it here, there's going to be a problem. I have an example of how I make my cup of coffee. Simple stuff: hot boiling water, 2 spoons of coffee, 1 sachet of sweetener, and 1 ice cube. Why do I use ice cube? I use ice cube because I can take it immediately, even though I use hot boiling water. There's really nothing there. But if somebody makes me coffee and doesn't put ice cube, it suddenly isn't my type of coffee because I don't have to wait for the coffee to cool down a little bit. It's wasting my time. I don't have that time. Because this time, you have to get to work at the particular time. So it's, and then this day, when I had a help, I told the person, please help me make my coffee. Just put 2 spoons of, and I said it. However, I said 2 spoons, right? And spoon is not spoon, right? So there's a teaspoon and there's a tablespoon. And because in my head, I always use a teaspoon. So make 2 spoons. So when the coffee came and started to taste like sadness, I'm wondering what's happening here. And I'm like, how many spoons did you use? And she said, 2 spoons. The coffee is not bad. It's the same coffee I use. What's happened? Please, can I see the spoon? Oh. Guess what? I can't blame the person because I said spoon. I didn't say teaspoon or tablespoon. And it happens a lot for many people in life and business. You just give because you think the person knows. But you've forgotten that because you are used to it. Sometimes your reflex has formed doing things that way. So you know that let's quickly do it. So when you don't clearly outline your systems, and I know that some people are already thinking that, why am I outlining system in my house? But see, I want to tell you that if you look at the time you spend making corrections, correcting your helps, pouring things away because there's a little bit too much salt, you'll do it. If you look at the time, the money, the energy, maybe not time, maybe not money. You could just be a big girl. Money is not a problem. So you can waste stuff. But you see, one thing you cannot afford to waste is your energy on the wrong stuff. You can't recover it. And then you are in the red zone every day. Why? Because something as little as, okay, this is what you are expected to do, and guiding people along that line is not available. Especially if, for example, maybe if you have helps in your house, take them as employees. And so your house becomes how you want to direct your business, and tell your people and all of that, then becomes important. Can you hear me?
Can.
All right.
Yes, we
Great.
can.
So now let's go to systems in business. I don't know how many minutes I have left though, but I'm sure I'm the only one today. So
Yes, you
everybody
started
knows.
127, but you can take as much time as you want to.
All
No
right.
rush.
So what are systems in business, right? In a business, systems are basically a collection of documented procedures, policies, softwares, and other tools used to manage an aspect of an organization so that you can achieve a specific business objective. What do I mean? You have an SOP for, say, customer service. Then you have a policy, disciplinary policy. You have a payment policy. You have a CRM tool, your software. Then you have maybe a digital calendar or Google Calendar. All of those 5 things I've mentioned can come together for your business to become your customer management system, meaning that that SOP and the policies and the software and the digital calendar work together in such a way to help you serve your customer and get specific results at every time. Systems integrate all the elements required to transform your business into an efficient machine. The way that you just get to your car, you put it on, it comes on. It's not the car, it's not the ignition that is coming on. It's a number of different things coming together at the same time to answer that ignition to come on. If the battery is gone, it won't come on. If there's no fuel, it won't come on. If the oil is gone, it won't come on. Do you understand? However, all of those things, when they are working properly, just give you one thing, which is a car that is efficient and can do what you want it to do. So with systems, you are able to streamline your workload, improve your productivity, and you produce results, consistent results, because every little detail to ensure that your customers' expectations are met are fulfilled in the same way every time. So every day you go to your car, you put it on, it comes on because all of the parts coming together are working properly. If your Google Calendar, as I'm in my last example, messes you up, you suddenly see that you booked your customer for the wrong day and it has messed the entire system up. Not exactly because your CRM software is bad, but that calendar has messed the entire thing up. The people that do my hair, I respect their systems. I've only spoken to the business owner once, and I've had my hair now 2 years and 6 months. I spoke to her the first day that I wanted to do a consultation to do my hair. I've never seen her since then. I've never had them to do that. But immediately my hair is done, and I say my appointment is completed, and they send me information, please make payment, this, that. In less than 3 days, I get a calendar invite for my next hair appointment. Every time since 2022. As in, even me, I'm in awe. It has never failed. Never failed. 2 weeks before my hair appointment, they send me a message to remind me. A week before they send a message, the Wednesday before, because I do my hair on Saturdays, they send another message just to confirm this address is still the address we are using. 9 a.m. we are expecting us. See, me, I'm proud. System works. It works. And you can look at it and say, what does a hairdresser need a system for? Because that's what they are. However, the owner of that business has set it up in such a way that she can go to America, and that business is running. You will see some businesses where they say, you can't come and measure. Yes, they are tailors, they are designers, but you can't come and measure if they don't tell you to come. Some people feel like, why, what? They are not looking for money, they are proud, they are this, but no. You don't know whether what they have can only take 3 people. Then 8 of you come. You will now be complaining that they made you to sit outside. They made you to do this. When in actual fact, they book you 3 people per 1 hour and everybody is okay. And everybody's fine. So you get there at your time. And that's why I'm usually very surprised when people say things like, oh, my business cannot be structured. Because it's really because you don't understand what it is. Or maybe you have a service booking policy and you tell somebody that, see, I'm only able to wait 15 minutes after your time that I booked you for before I cut off. And there will be no refund. Except you tell me beforehand that you are not going to show up. It's not because anybody is proud. It's because they probably have booked another person for 30 minutes after you. And they need to prepare. It's as simple as that. For example, myself, so I work full-time. I have a business. I used to have a nanny, but since January, I've not had one. And this has been one of the busiest years of my life. But we're still here. We're doing it. Because at least some things are structured. For example, I hardly post on Instagram these days for my business, but there is a sales and marketing system. The thing is running. I'm making my money, right? I will come up when I can come up. It's okay. The ads are there. Everything is there. When somebody orders my book, I hardly ever have any interaction with the person. I have the person who delivers the book. Immediately I get the order, I copy it, I send to them, please deliver. And on the website that I posted the book on, is there that if it's a hard copy book, if you are in Lagos, you have 2 to 3 days to receive it. If you're outside Lagos, please give it at least 5 working days. What that means is that in that space of time, we will do our shenanigans and you get your book. If you order the book, you've seen that. You can't call me the next morning and ask me for your book. I've not offended you. I've not done anything to you. But if I don't do that, then you can order right now and call me in 2 hours and start asking me for the book. Right? I have a Calendly link where all my one-on-one consultations are booked at. And you cannot book it less than 48 hours in advance. At least 48 hours. I only have to set that system up once. And it's there. And in fact, my Mondays are not available on Calendly. My Tuesdays as well. Wednesdays from 5 p.m. because I know that, okay, my schedule tapers down a bit in that time. So, how much do you pay for Calendly to compare that to your peace of mind? Because someone might be living in America, wants to book you, then they will book you for 6 a.m. their own time, midnight your own time. Why? And then they'll go and call you out on social media that they paid money, or they did not come up, or they did not. Because why? You made it happen. But those are the things that we save ourselves time and energy and social capital. Because how many people do I now want to start explaining to? They probably have screenshot it everywhere. She took their money. She said she's a business structure person. She does not know anything. Before I can come and defend myself. But with what I have set up, and I've set it up since I started, since 2022, even when I was not sure if anybody will book me, I just left it there. So it's really for yourself. In fact, systems is self-care. Nobody can stress you, except you want to stress yourself. You know the day you will go to market. And so even you can plan that I only have Saturdays to go to the market, right? For some people. Some people, they can go to market, like me, there's market close to my house. So I can even still go to a market at about 7 p.m., buy some things. But if you know that your market is 10 kilometers away, maybe you go there for price or whatever, you cannot then buy 3 pieces of stuff that you know you need 20 pieces of. And you can plan yourself so that You don't wake up and there's no salt. We don't know how these tiny things can affect how our day goes. You had made up your mind that tomorrow morning we're having fried yam and eggs so that the children can go to school, and then we can do everything we're supposed to do. Then you wake up and there's no egg. How? There's school. That singular thing can scatter the entire day for you, because you suddenly cannot imagine how your day is going to go. Your children probably will complain. Maybe, if, for example, if you have a child like mine, I've told her tomorrow you're having plantain, she's already excited. Plantain. She now wakes up. She now, where is the plantain? And she starts to cry. Even you are tired. And you have a lot to do. That energy, you don't have it. One of the things I say that I don't have the energy for this. The energy I have, I'm keeping it. Because there's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. So I've already jumped to personal systems anyway. It's okay. All right, so I already even mentioned this in my mind. So let's just go ahead. So personal life systems are a collection of the do's and the don'ts that help to streamline your routines, reduce decision fatigue, and free up time and mental energy for both your career and yourself, right? And in the middle of that, your family, your friends, everybody, right? And why is this important? When I had a help, every Saturday morning, the first thing she does is to go and check everything that we have to buy. I go to the market because I enjoy it. It helps me to put some steps in and all of that, which is also why I said somebody's personal system cannot work for me, because if somebody else gets tired of going to the market, then we can't have the same system. I like to go to the market because it helps me to walk, it helps me to do some things, and I like it. But I don't want to go and then come back and then you now tell me like, there's no this. And I had a mark. You don't tell me that eggs are finished when you have just 4 legs. So you are running it like you're running a business. If you run a business, you have a minimum reorder quantity. At what point do we need to buy this? So that in case we don't get, everything doesn't turn upside down. You really can figure out, we use this. No thanks to national grid collapsing, because they have their own problem. Right? And so maybe there are some things you can't buy to keep. But for example, yam, plantains, the things that is not exactly freezing. You can guess how many you use in a month. In that way, it won't spoil, waste money, because if you don't buy so much because you want to buy in bulk, some of it will spoil, you have wasted money. So in being able to forecast, and those are the things that, personal life systems do for you, right? In being able to forecast, okay, 6 eggs, this, and that. There's no, because see, especially because we are women, and we, just by sitting down here today now, I have a lot going on. Everybody has a lot going on. So any small energy, keep it for yourself. You are a person, you matter. That energy, if you don't have anything to use it for, use it to sleep. That is it. Sleep. But to waste it, no. Please don't. Don't do it. And all of these systems, you only have to set it up. At least do the heavy lifting of them once. Every other thing is improvement. Improvement, which is normal in life, right? But that you are setting it up at the very base, you are doing everything from the very beginning. You only need to do it once. Having a timetable is not a fancy stuff. Food timetable, for example, it's not a fancy stuff. It helps you. Now you can say it streamlines your food. So put buckets of, I don't have a written food timetable in my house, for example. But I know the things that, because I don't have a help, if I have a help, probably have something that guides everybody. But because I know that my daughter going to school, we eat certain things that are easy to handle and all of that. And we know them. If you eat rice today, you are not eating rice tomorrow, for example. And trust me, I cook beans, I put beans in my freezer. Maybe I'm not that wife material for some people, but it's okay. Because I cannot cook 1 cup of beans today. Come and cook another one on Thursday. Why? You blend pepper 2 times. No, cannot do it. Me. I do not say you should do the same. I'm just saying, it saves my time that way. That is killing. I will not cook 4 cups of beans for 4 times the time I'm supposed to use to cook 1 cup of beans. No. But that's me. And because I've seen that it works. So you eat it today, you can eat it. So, because if you don't do things like that, you'll be burnt out. And you see this burnout, it didn't respect anybody. Tiredness is not burnout. Oh. Tiredness is not burnout. People that have seen burnout, they will run from it. 440. They don't want it in their life again. Because you don't want to do anything. All joy is gone. You're just living life. The children that you're supposed to enjoy are not frustrating you. Because you want to be doing what? You want to be going to market every day. Don't do it. You deserve better. Honestly, life systems, business systems, whatever system, is really just to help us to be people that we're living a life that we enjoy. Create that system around when you can read your Bible, when you can do your religious activities. I'm saying this is my personal conviction. You might not agree with it, but you don't have to do your devotion in the morning. You don't. If you have midday and it's to you, you can do your devotion then. If you have 8 p.m. and you know that the children are sleeping, this is me time, you can do your devotion then. And God will not be annoyed with you that you are, yes, there are times when you will focus and all of that, but God will not be annoyed that you are chopping onions and you are praying to Him. He knows what you can do. He sees your capacity. He sees your ability. Let's not hold ourselves into conditions that will deteriorate our life. And then we're looking at God. And then, because you see, one thing I've noticed is that the reason why a lot of people from the generation of our mothers are always very upset is that they didn't live life. And so they look at many things and it feels like more the money. And so why are they not doing this? But trust me, whether they like it or not, they could have done it better. They could have done it better. And I would also say that in your personal life systems, especially if maybe you don't have help, you win some, you lose some. Some things, leave them. As long as it does not kill anybody, and no, just leave it. You can't do everything. If you can use your money to buy some time, that's great. That's great. That's a great recommendation for me. For example, I don't have a living help right now, and so somebody else comes to wash the clothes once in 2 weeks. Once in 2 weeks, always. You see that? I forgot to tell them to come and wash the clothes. No, now. So they know. So sometimes they will even ask me, shame my bobai. Sorry, my pain. You understand? I have somebody who comes to help me do regular cleaning and also I can cope with the little things that I have to do here and there. When we're growing up, my mom, I think in Yoruba. Sorry if I speak a lot of Yoruba, I don't speak Yoruba. I apologize. I think in Yoruba, that's how they brought me up. And so I used to hear a lot of Aye Kolowa. And that's it. If you burn out that one life that you have and there's no joy in living it, what's the point? Your children also don't get the best of you. They don't. Now, you probably, let's say, okay, you are working somewhere. You can't control if you have a nasty boss, at least until you can leave that place to somewhere else. But the one that you can control, how you will behave, how your children will be happy, how you two will be happy, because you two, somebody that gave birth to you, control it. If that means using paper plates, so you don't wash plates every day, so you don't faint, please do. Please do. Right? Having these systems in your personal life they're a game changer. Try one system after this class. Create one if you've never had one. Whether that is a system for bulk cooking, one, create it. And let's talk when you're done. You will see the difference. And then by yourself, you can go and start creating other systems that you desire to create. So now, as I've spoken about why systems are important, and it's already 160. Sorry. 5-step process of fail-proof systems. That if you use these systems to create, if you use this process to create your systems, they're not going to fail. Right? 5, define, document, communicate, implement, and improve. Now, for personal life systems, you might not exactly be communicating many of them if it's a system that's just guiding you. But if it's a system that is guiding maybe your house, your help at home, and all of that, then you need to communicate it. So first is to define. What are you defining? If I work with anybody for structuring their business, if we don't define their mission and their vision, we are not doing anything. We are not going anywhere. I will not do. Why? Because you see, if we don't know these things, we can't exactly create what will work for us. If your mission is to raise children, for example, as a mom, maybe your mission, you feel like your mission as a mom is to raise children who know the Lord, love the Lord, and are living a good life, don't have trauma. That's not the time when you'll be allowing yourself to burn out so that you'll be shouting and then they will be running away from you. Because you now, you are a mommy of God. You know the Lord, you love the Lord, but you're always shouting. Not the time. You need to ensure that you are now, doing things in such a way that they see the Lord that you serve and they want to, my battery is low. I thought my laptop was charging all along, but it's not. So I need to fix it. Please give me a few minutes. Yeah, thanks. I don't know. Like my charger is not working. Yeah. I don't know what's happening. Sorry about that. I sincerely apologize. That's strange. Anyway. Thank you. It's like it's not the charger, it's the port. Okay, we're charging now. Great. It's charging now. Please let me check if it's charger. Right, sorry about that. So I was saying, I don't know why I'm sweating like this. If it's your mission, for example, to raise children who, who know the Lord, love the Lord, are free of trauma, and you know the Lord, you love the Lord, but you're always shouting, you probably won't be able to raise them. Until you are shouting for good cause, you are tired. And this is why we are here, to help you know that you cannot always be tired. You can't. And so these are things to help you not be tired every time. In the same vein, if you're a business owner, you can't always be shouting on your team members that they are not doing what they are supposed to do. I see that happen so frequently with business owners. Oh, this is my staff, they don't do anything. Oh, they're not this. Oh, they're not. When in actual sense, if you like 5 of your team members like this and ask them, how do we do customer service? 5 of them have 5 different ways that you do it. And I tell people, one word document, one. You are using that. Then you will create one word document and save, but you prefer to, why? So you need to define, first of all, the overall purpose of your business or your life. I understand that, again, many people get stuck in this, what's my purpose? That's not what I'm talking about here. What I mean by purpose is, what do I feel like I want to achieve in this area of my life? The area of my life, my health. What do I want it to be like? That's what will help you define systems in your health. I don't eat this. I don't do this. Thank you. I don't go to this place. I don't have this kind of friends. It's a system for your health. I don't watch this. I don't watch that. I watch TV when I can. It's not a compulsory part of my life. Some people, that TV that I don't watch is self-care for them. I can't tell them not to watch TV, because I think the mistake we make is that I don't listen to songs. You not think that that's where everybody's life is supposed to be. No. Me, I would rather sleep. Me. However, somebody else comes, I have a friend. See, if they say corporate body, that's one corporate body. She's good. Good, as in, good. I don't know how to say it. But you see, when she has a block in her head, the only thing that can clear it is that she watches a movie that she loves. I've never seen it before. I don't understand it, but it happens. And then one day is done watching that movie and she's firing on all cylinders. I don't understand it. But it is her. And it's fine for her. Me, I will sleep. Recently, I discovered one expensive thing that I like. You see, I went to have a massage done, and I'm like, this is the life. But I look at my accounts, I'm like, I can't do this every time. So let's see, maybe once a quarter. But you see that money that you don't want to spend for yourself, you will spend it for another person. You will suddenly remember that your daughter needs to buy new shoes, even though you've not bought shoes now in 7 years. And I understand not being loving other people, you should, and being sacrificial, you should also be. But remember that at the end of the day, if you don't create a way to make yourself useful in a way that you are, I mean, life is not perfect. You are not happy all the time, all of that. But you can at least know that I'm living a life that I'm grateful for within my capacity. You won't be able to achieve many of the other things that you desire to achieve because you are the constant person here. And so what we are saying is, look at what you want to achieve with your business, with your life. I want to be 60 years old and looking sharp and being agile and having great reflexes and walking up the stairs and not being tired. So it's not me that should really be doing some things that other people are not doing. And so while it's not the easiest thing to do, I try to get my 10,000 steps in every day. So you take it from there, you define what your vision is. Honestly speaking, at this point, I think that I probably have to have another class. I don't know, because I cannot finish. It's already 1:30. Anyway, so you define what your purpose of your life, of your business, what you desire your business to be in the future. So I want this business to eventually employ 10 people, 20 people. Maybe you have only one staff now, you have 2 staff. Or I want to have stores across the country, or I want to have stockists across the country, whatever it is. Then from the vision and the mission you've created, you then start to bring it closer home. So now that I know I want to be hot in my 60s, what should I do between 30 and 35? So at least I can look at that. Okay, I can start to take my supplements, or I can start to do this. I can start to get some exercise in. I can start to do this, right? Then how do you intend to achieve those goals? I mean, this might be more suited to businesses, but it works for everybody, right? So you start to walk back this definition. When you've defined them, then you start to document. Like I said, documentation doesn't have to be 20 pages. I think many people start to go through problems, maybe when they go on social media and they start to see things like 80 policies you need for your business. It's not exactly like that. Every business is different. And I can tell you for free that many of those things, this is me here. I also have a policy pack that I sell, right? A lot of the policies that you see out there, when they say 100 policies, 80 policies, all of them don't apply to your business. They've just put together just to have some bulk, which I understand, but yeah. So look at it from that and start to document. You might not have to document how to make your coffee, for example, but if you're going to do bulk cooking, or you're going to do bulk buying, or you're going to do all of those things, just know the things you need to do. If you're doing it by yourself, document little by little. And does that, for example, now you then have to hire someone, maybe in a hurry. I don't know, maybe you didn't know, you were not so up for it, but maybe something came up, you need to hire help, you need to do this. At least the person can come in and be settled while you are facing other things that you have to face, and then you can work with them that way. Then if you have behavioral expectations, now for your businesses, maybe you don't want people to dress in a particular way, you don't want people to talk in a particular way, so you start to policies around discipline, policies around ethics, for example, policies around, say, let me see, policies around customer satisfaction, policies around booking your service. Start to put that down. Even if you're a solo business owner, how people interact with you, put it down. Let them know, okay, you can only come for your booking on this day. I expect your service on this day. Things like, we don't do pack delivery, for example. It's part of the things that you need to communicate, right? Things that won't let you be having conversations over and over. So one person has asked you for pack delivery, oh, sorry, we don't do it. Another person, please now do it. Because the point is that look at the pros and the cons of the things you don't want to do. Some people can do pack delivery, it's okay. But if you don't want to, don't do it. Trust me, I believe that your own clients will come and they would be fine with not doing pack delivery as well. I think a lot of us are also, we do many things in life and in business thinking from scarcity. If I don't take this client, I will not have another one. You will have another one. I'm just saying, I mean, that's just random, but so policies around how you want people to behave when they're in your business or while they're in your life. I mean, you can't, of course, hand your friend a policy that is your way to behave, but it would also help you know the kind of friends you want to keep. When you have these things, you know, somewhere in your head, you don't know that you don't have friends that are insulting people. I don't have, I don't have that energy. Some people are fine, they bond over gossip. If you don't, remove yourself. That's the policy of your own life. You don't want to be a part of it. It's okay. People who like to bond over gossip will bond over gossip. People who want to do better things will do better things. It's important that you are clear on behavioral expectations and also how you will behave towards people. Please be clear. For a business, you need to actually document these things. For personal life, you really just want to know them, except you have someone in your space that is maybe like a paid help and you need them to do some things in a certain way. Then you need to document and give to them, or at least let them know that these are my expectations regarding this. Again, communicate. So when you've created this is your policy, these are the SOPs you are using, whatever it says. If it's a business, let the people involved know about this document, because it's one thing to create the document, it's a whole different thing to communicate the document. And then let them know they are expected to follow what you have just told them to do. They need to follow it. Then implementation. Implementation is where you get your hands dirty. So we did this bulk buying, but we realized that we needed more pepper, we needed more this, we needed more that. It is only in implementation you will know that you need more, or that you should have bought less. And then you can improve. This is why improvement is part of creating your own systems. You must improve them. So you realize that actually, yes, it was working for us last time, but I think we need to adjust some things now. Then you adjust. Then you adjust. But if you create, if you define, if you document, if you communicate, but you don't implement, you have only successfully wasted your time and that same energy that we've been talking about from the beginning. And you don't want that to happen. So it's the same thing as I'm talking now. See, I'm talking with all my passion. If you don't implement this thing, well, all of us, all 30-something of us here now, we have wasted our time. It's not nice, right? So it's important that you implement. Then, of course, improve. In improvement, you want to know what the frequency of checking will be. For example, could be depending on what you do, could be quarterly. I recommend at least quarterly. You know, okay, we were buying fish, but I think the last fish we bought, it's wasted. So we're not buying fish again, right? For example, my daughter just started and said she does not like chicken. Wow. You bought chicken for how long now? And the last time I bought chicken, maybe that was like July. I realized that this chicken has been in this freezer and I had to force myself to start eating it. So I don't buy chicken again. We're now in love with fish. That's okay. But imagine me still buying chicken. I will keep having chicken in the freezer. And then one day I might even have forgotten. It will spoil. I will waste money in this national grid economy. This our economy is a lot of things. And now national grid have joined it. So you will check and say, okay, these are the things that we do. And trust me, you might realize that you've been wasting money since. That money that you say you claim not to have, you've been wasting it. 3 tomatoes you have thrown away every day. 3 tomatoes. Before you know it, 4,000 naira tomato is gone. It's just that we don't actually track stuff, so we don't know. We used to buy Milo in my house. We realized that the first Milo I bought, there's Milo in this house. It smells hard. I have to be using hammer to break it. Then I chewing it. I'm not buying again. But you see, we could have continued to write that Milo in that list and buy just because it's reflex. You are not checking and you're wasting it. Some of you have soy sauce. Maybe you bought it because of peer pressure. You've not used it. It's there, wasted. So it's one of the things I noticed that is cabbage. I want to eat salad. I'm excited. I buy it. I eat half. I can't eat the rest. I don't know why. I don't know how to do it. So I've paused it for now. Maybe I will buy from outside. Because if you continue to do these things, it's 500 naira today, 500 naira tomorrow, then you realize that it was actually some good money. It's because it was in sachet sizes that you allowed it to waste. And it's the same thing with things like just buying, look around and see how you can make these things work for you. What works for me in the things we buy or don't buy, of course, might not work for you. You have different plans and all of that. But the point is to now be conscious of these things and create something around it. If you see that, okay, you buy this thing, but you waste, is there a way to actually make it not waste? Is there a way to maybe convert it into, maybe you were chewing it as whatever, but you can blend it so that more people can eat it? Things like that. I bake a lot of banana bread. Why? Because my banana is always almost black. And then I realized, oh, wow, we can do banana bread with it. So it's now fine for me to continue to buy bananas, because even if I don't even want banana bread, many people are not asking enough. So please, can I have banana bread? Please do banana bread for me. And I enjoy to do it, so it's fine by me. But if you know that you don't enjoy, for example, to bake the banana bread, don't buy excess banana now. It's okay. The day that they want banana, there's no banana. Tell them that they should not be annoyed. You will buy tomorrow. Not that you will buy and they will not eat it. It could be anything for you. But it's just that now you are conscious that, okay, there's a system around this thing. There's a system that we have been following that is making things to spoil, making things to waste, making us not happy that we are actually wasting them. Because many people don't like to waste stuff. But you can also eat spoiled stuff. You can also consciously not take care of yourself. So there's something happening that making me not to be able to eat healthy, for example, making me not to be able to exercise, but I want to. So how do I, create something that can make both things work? So how do you improve your systems? Like I said, regularly evaluate and gather feedback. If, for example, it's a system that only you are using, a personal life system, evaluate it and tell yourself the truth. If it's not working, it's not working. Like somebody says, if it didn't do it, it didn't do it. Simple. That's it. If it's working, you know it's working. If it's not working, then tweak it. You would eventually find your rhythm. If you're working with a team, if it's a business system, gather feedback from the people that are using it. This is our customer management system. Do you think it's better than before? Okay, it's working. I think it's working, but I think that our Google Calendar is not good. I think that our CRM, it has a loophole that is not making people. You get feedback and then you can work on it. Then evaluate also your metrics of success. What you are using to measure whether this system is working or not. Is it sensible? Because if you are, for example, using your return customers, for example, to judge what you are doing, when in actual sense your product is like me judging the success of my customer management system by if somebody comes back to buy a book, they've already bought it. They cannot come back. Do you understand? That's really what it is. So it's important that you know that your metrics are correct, that you are using to judge. Then the tools that are involved, are they working? And then each step of the process, is there a part of that process that has a gap? So if something, for example, is not totally dependent on you as well, you then need to check with the other people that are involved if this thing is working, right? So then when you've identified your bottlenecks, you want to address them. Why does it happen? You see, it's not that difficult. It's just that we don't think it's that serious. And it's actually more serious than that. I had a client one time, we were talking about her business, and I was asking her, so what's your vision? And she's like, now those are basic stuff. I said, tell me, that basic thing, tell me. Because it's not that serious. That's not the thing that is doing me now. That's the one that I want to know. Because if we just jump away from what we have considered to be basic, because we come across system, because you see, you don't write it down, yeah, or you don't even know anything about it, yeah. It affects you. You just don't know because you are not taking notes. You are not tracking it. That's why you don't know, and you need to know because. Sorry if you are not Yoruba. I'm sorry, but I am Kolowa, and you want to be able to live that life. At least knowing that you have done a good job. And if you go about wasting your time, your energy, your social capital, your money on unnecessary stuff, especially if you're a business owner, you don't have a system at home. You still don't have a system in the business. Every day shouting. You will shout at home. You will shout at artisan. You will shout at vendor. You will shout at man in bus park that you went to deliver. What happened? What happened? Oh God. And then you will not sit down and not be heaving. Why? It's still you that will not have friends that will not be talking to you, insulting you. Where they want be. Don't bring it here. Go far away. When I work with people to structure their businesses, I tell them, if you've not had structure before and you want to start, some of your employees might just carry their bag and say that they are not doing again. No, they did not sign up for this. Well, I should be following this thing that you want. I cannot do it. And it's okay. The same way that if you've not had personal life systems before, you might struggle with getting some things now done. You might struggle with maybe some kind of things you were hanging out around before, or maybe people that used to hang out. Maybe you didn't really used to save. You didn't have a system to your savings. And now you want to start saving. And you realize that it's the money that you've been using to hang out that you have to sacrifice. And your friend that cannot understand that you don't have money to hang out again, they should not be annoyed. They should be going. You will see them later. Because before you know it, sometimes the people that you're hanging out with, you don't know whether they have money somewhere. All of you think that all of us went to the same secondary school now, and our daddy didn't have money. How do you know? How do you know that they've not suddenly realized that some people now, they just called them from somewhere that their grandfather, they sold this house, so come and take 500K. Kind of person they can do. See, don't you know yourself and you can handle yourself? This is the money you have. It's okay. If at that point you can't hang out, it's fine. Another opportunity will come when the money that you're saving, let's assume that's the point, has yielded. Another opportunity to hang out. And if it doesn't come, be by yourself for now. You'll be okay. Then stay flexible and open to changes. If you had one child and you are pregnant, for example, for the second, you know that your systems are going to change. So you need to put space for your systems to adapt into what you're doing. Then as much as possible, celebrate your successes. I finally got around this fitness system. Yourself an issue, even if it's second hand. I will now run better. I've been running, but now let me run better. Celebrate if you meet your business revenue. Buy yourself earring. Remember that you won't make 3 million anymore. Earring, you'll be happy. Me, I know when I went to do massage, I know what happened. That's all I'm just going to tell you. And I know what will still happen when I go and do another. I'm just saying, not only you know how it really, really happened, you know it. Greet yourself. Even if you can't buy anything yet, tap yourself that well done, you tried. If you've been wanting to save and you suddenly hit your first, whether it's 1 million, be happy with yourself. Go to one place. Don't take anybody. Don't take your children. Only you. Go and eat. And you just go. You will see them later. They'll be okay. Just go first. Because when you're able to celebrate yourself, you literally ginger to do more. And it's in seeing that what you are using is working that makes you want to use more of that. When you see that your system is working, is yielding the results, you are almost naturally, carried to create more systems around more things. Now create a system around how you do something else because you know that it works. And if you do this one as well, it will work. For example, nobody's going to convince Ariola now to do system where she does a particular thing before she sleeps because she knows that she did it when she learned it. She could sleep better. Am I mad? I will do it now. How will I not do it again? I'll do it because you see that it works. So when you see results, please celebrate yourself. Then for your business systems, use the data around. They say that thing that data is gold. Some people now even say that data is life because they help you to see what you can do. Do you need to adjust your marketing or do you need to, this marketing is working, increase the money you put behind it? Things like that, right? When you have tested, for example, if you have a marketing, sales and marketing system and it's generating money, it's not broken, don't fix it. If you fix it, for example, you think, I'm improving it, and it doesn't work, what do? You revert and go back. Because you are tracking, you are using data to make your decision. You don't keep pumping money into what's not working, wasting money, and then working with a system that isn't working, so to speak. I don't know how to say it. And the last thing in improving your system is be consistent. Because when you are consistent, you can easily recognize it's working, it's not working very fast. But you do it today, then you don't do it in the next 2 weeks. You really cannot say whether it's working or it's not working. That means you are doing a yoje, or later because that's not what we're doing here. We're serious, focused. And Alana has created class now. 8 weeks we have been following ourselves. If we do later because all of us, what's the point? So please, and I would say start where you are today. The problem now after you finish things like this is people now say, I understand, it's very nice. Systems, I love them. But if I look at my life or my business, I have like 40 systems to create. Then lethargy sets in and you don't even create one. No, start from where you are. One. All I'm asking you, one. Just create one for your business today. How do you know the one to create? Look around and see the one that is very, customers have been complaining since. Create a customer management system first. If you see that I'm not making money now, I'm then try. Look for how to do sales and marketing system, right? If you see that my market is getting lost, I can't find my listing, I'll do an inventory management system. The one that is important. If you see that this is my stomach, something's happening, it's getting big. Health system first, fitness system first. If you see that it's like I'm getting tired in my soul, I'm getting tired in my spirit, up your spiritual system first. That's where you start from. Then when you see that it's working, you can build more. But don't wait for when we are ready for everything. You can never be. How much time do you have? You can never be. Start with the systems where you will get consistent results with less time. Then move on from there. And trust me, your consistency is not my consistency. So when we say consistent, it is consistent that works for you. Start with one. Look at where you are right now. What do you think you want to be better? In my house, since I don't have a nanny again now, we have what is called a making hair bag. So when we are going to make hair by herself, I ask Oyofe, go and get your making hair bag. She knows the bag, she carries it. The hair cream is inside. I know what I'll pick from the kitchen to put inside, and we're going downstairs. It saves us time. We know that when we wake up on Saturday morning, after we've done some shenanigans, immediately you're losing your hair. That's what we do. And then you make your hair on that Saturday, so that on Sunday, you can lazy about a bit, you can play a bit, you can do some things. Not that we'll not remember at 6 p.m. on Sunday, no, lie. So start with what you can do from where you are. You can't have all the time. I would say that again. You can't have all the time. And don't make that mistake of saying you will wait, because you will never have the time. So please start from where you are. The system you have to create is different from what I have to create. For example, I don't particularly have a nighttime routine like that. And when I learned that thing last week, I said, okay, let me give my brain something to work on when I'm sleeping. That's it. But imagine I didn't create a system around anything, because at night routine, how till now. So please start from where you are, create the systems. Even if it doesn't work, you will tweak it. What happens is that you have set it in motion. As you go along, you start to see where you need to improve. In implementation, we see areas of improvement, but we need to start implementing first. Thank you. I've spoken for almost 1.5 hours, but thank you everyone for having me. I hope that this was helpful. For those who already follow me on social media, thank you. If you want to follow me, that's my Instagram handle right there. I'll share the slides with Ariola, so if she wants to share with me, she can. Thank you very much for having me today.
Thank
If
you
have
very
questions, I'll take
much
them now.
for that insightful session. I love the way you break it down, because normally you hear put a system in place, and I'll be wondering, what is this system all about? But the way you simplify it makes me understand better, and I can actually relate to some of the things that you said about not putting a system in place. Because I remember there was a time I had a tailor, and because I've given the tailor something to do before, she didn't do it in my office, so she did it well, and I just said, let me hire this person. So I just hired her and we continued. About 3 days into everything, and I'm just like, I thought this person can sew. I thought she can do this. I thought she can do that. I was just the one thoughting. I didn't put her through anything. I didn't put her through my own system and my own way of doing things. And we have different ways of sewing. We have different ways of cutting, even though we are going to still arrive at the same thing at the end of the day. But later, when I realized I had to now do the proper thing, asking her some questions, and that was when I even got to know that, hey, God, this person is not. Then secondly, the way you talked about it, both personally and business-wise, I remember a time when my daughter asked me, are you my mommy? And I can tell you from everything that he said today that it's because of the lack of system. because any small thing I would just lash out on them, tired, everything. So I really, the session was really a fantastic one, and I love the way you break it down. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
that. So
Thank
anyone with questions, you can raise your hands or you drop it in the comment section. Anyone? So
Okay, while we wait for people to put their questions together, I know they have questions to ask, or maybe Oyindamola did such a fantastic job that they have it all figured out already, because I'm seeing the comment section busting. Yeah, so this structure thing we've been talking about, the system thing we've been talking about, and she mentioned how many times our mothers feel because they were doing too much and they feel like mo dẹ̀ jẹ̀yà lórí yín o, mo dẹ̀ ṣe mo dẹ̀ mọ. I remember when I was younger, I won't call myself a very hardworking person, right? My husband said I love shortcuts a lot. So my own is, if I hate to repeat some tasks. So whatever it is I have to do repeatedly, I just create a system. Maybe it is that I'll get the children involved, and that's also another way to apply this thing in our lives. Like I just teach the children, oh yeah, this is how you tidy, you throw pillows, you put them like this. Sometimes it take a while to build that system, but eventually you rest. No, they know that when we want to do laundry, they can load the washing machine. They can help me dry the clothes. Of course, I'll be there because me, I love. There's a way I love to spread my clothes. I don't like to spread clothes anyhow. But they are beginning to understand mommy system. Many times they get in the way, but eventually, Woluma see me. And then I remember when we were younger, my mommy loves when we want to cook this thing, we do it every day. We're like, why? Why do you have to? Let me your mom should say, olenie, I say, leave it like that. I like it. Because why will I want to be spending time to be doing something over and over every time? It doesn't make sense to me. And it's about being effective. Like when you speak to most software engineers, like software engineers are like one of the most lazy people you'll ever see in this world. But they can spend build a system that they don't need to repeat over and over and over. They can take 3 months to build a system, and after that point, sorry, let's see, your mic is on. I'm trying to mute her mic. Yes. So you can take a lot of time to build, but eventually, when you do, you save yourself a lot of time. Even with all this system I said I have, I still need to. I have a lot of work to do, especially when it regards personal care. And because sometimes when you have systems, you can now get to the point where you're not like a superhuman. You're just doing things, you're doing things, and before you know what's happening, and your body, oh my, it go tell on your body. Like last weekend, I said it was more of burnout. I was just not in a good place spiritually, emotionally. I was not in a good place at all. Physically, I was just not there. And I was speaking in the spirit. I knew I needed time to take time to rest. The whole of my body was aching me. To be sometimes you like say, I just want to faint. Like even now, I'm still feeling lightheaded, kind of. So really, it's good to set up systems and it's good to prioritize self-care. The fact that these things are working for you. And when she also mentioned parenting, you want to raise up well-adjusted, awesome children that are trauma-free. You have to make sure you can create that space for them. You can't do that if you're always angry, you're always burnt out, you're always beating them, they're always in. Children are children. Allow them room to be children. Sometimes you just want them to be little adults that have it all figured out. We need to create that emotional space. And in not wanting to do that, we transfer aggression to them, we heap up a whole lot of trauma to them, and they now keep it on and pass it on to their children. It is really, really not it's not the finest thing to do. So thank you so much, Oyindamola. I have taken a lot of notes. I know so many adjustments I have to make in my personal life to be more effective to the people around me and to myself, most importantly, because aye yo pe meji. Thank you so much. So do you have any questions now?
Thank you.
any question? Aye Kolowa, that thing keeps ringing in my head.
Okay.
Call names,
Can you hear
Maima,
me?
I'm seeing you. Doing Sola,
Can
Marvelous,
you hear me?
Tejumade, Kemi.
Yes, I can
Please
hear you.
speak in. Bros.
Question.
Okay. All right. I just want to say thank you to Oyindamola. Thank you so much for the practicality of this session. It's extremely practical. I like the examples you used because it was very relatable. It's something that we do every now and then in our homes. So it wasn't vague, like, what's she talking about? I could relate, extremely relate with everything you were saying. Okay, so, but the question I want to ask regarding for business, I don't have a business. I work. Okay, I work in the corporate sector, so I can't. So I might not have a lot of things regarding that. But for home, that you really expounded on, and I'm very thankful for that, is to ask about. I remember when you talked about trying to make food, making bulk food. I cook a lot. I'm a caterer in my home, not outside. so I cook a lot and I do a lot of bulk cooking, just to save myself that time, just to have that sanity of mind. I know how I feel when I cook a lot and I store in the freezer. I'm so excited. It's like Christmas Day for me because I know that the next 3 weeks or so, or 2 to 3 weeks, I am not going to be doing anything. Maybe I can just tell my maid, because I have a maid, I can just tell my maid, okay, boil rice. I can tell my maid, boil yam. But other things, the soups, the sauce, and everything, they're all there. But what if you now have a spouse or you have someone in the home, maybe your spouse, that likes this freshly made? Because I remember there was one time social media was buzzing about one woman that the husband eats freshly made food. My husband doesn't do that, but I can just be asking for someone. So what if you have a situation where your spouse likes freshly made moi moi, freshly made you, ogbono tí mo fẹ́ jẹ, freshly made do. How do you do it? I don't know whether people are in that condition. Me, I do bulk cooking. But what if? I just want to know. Is there any other, would you have a structure for that?
Okay. So I'm gonna say, remember I remember attending an event with Ibupa Oshika at a time where she was speaking, and then someone said something like this, and she said, maybe that's what if her own husband, wanted cooked food like that every day? And she said, maybe you should have married a primary school teacher. However, one of the things I do, even though, like I said, I like going to the market, is that I have customers for everything. See, that thing is a life hack. Meaning that if I want to buy snails right now, I can call the person in the market and tell them, please do this snail for me. I'm coming. What that does to you is that, say your husband wants whatever, at least you can have leaf in your house. For example, he wants moi moi, right? There's leaf now in the house. Except again,
Yes.
the person is really wicked, and then they want you to buy that leaf that day. You can even still pre-peel the beans. You won't grind it, but you will pre-peel it.
Yep.
It's there in the freezer, right? Get it out. You know that, okay, it's moi moi we eat this night, and we have to do the moi moi this night. When you are going to work, you bring the beans out of the freezer, put it in the fridge, it will defrost. When you come, you will blend, you will do your moi moi, you will eat. There are still things that can be taken out of the way. Except, of course, again, the person you are dealing with is a wicked person who really just wants to put you through trouble. And then start to make some demands. Because, for example, nobody in this world is going to want you to boil meat every time you want to cook soup. Maybe it's the soup we want to eat. Meaning we'll boil the pepper now and then we'll fry it. Abi? But if somebody wants you to particularly boil the meat now, then that's a different problem. So it's really about, okay, we want fresh food. I don't understand it, but I also hear that maybe some people have some medical conditions, so some things, I don't know. But some things can be done ahead. You don't have to wake up and wash beans, peel beans in the morning of the day you are going to work. Except you want the beans to be peeled that day, meaning that, again, Oga will buy you a Gucci mix that can peel your beans. No, so, I mean, it's a give and take. Because if not, you are going to burn out.
Exactly. Very true. Very true.
So if you know that, okay, we're eating beans tomorrow, you pour it in water. You're eating more tomorrow, pour your beans in water. When I was growing up, we didn't used to cook beans to keep. However, we will cook beans in the night. If you know that you're eating beans tomorrow morning, you will cook that beans in the night to a certain level. So when you wake up in the morning, you put the pepper, the oil, and then finish it. You cook it that day. I'm just saying there are different ways, so you will find what works. That's it. Fine. And then if it's food every day you want, then some things also have to be out of the way. For example, then maybe somebody else is washing the clothes. Somebody else is prepping the kids for school. Except again, the person is a wicked person, which is now something entirely different from what we're talking about. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, Adefunke, I can see your hand. Please go ahead.
All right, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much, sis. I mean, it feels good to know that I have somebody like you. You probably don't even know me, but you know me at the same time. So let me just keep it like that. I'm feeling like that is my sister here. But really, I don't know if it's a question. Don't mind me. You might be hearing things all around. Just to say that these things that you talked about are very valid. Like sometimes I heard something one day and it has liberated me as a person in terms of my spirituality that look, sometimes it's good to read the scriptures, but at other times it's good that the scriptures are read to you. When I heard that thing from Apostle Selman, I kukuma went to download all my Bible have audio. So sometimes when I wake up in the morning and I want to do my devotion, I put my phone down, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm listening to the word, and I pick up my word for the day and I'm running with it and I'm fine. So I'm just saying this to say that truly systems would go a lot. I mean, I've not heard system being broken down, like somebody said, in this way before. And as you were saying it, even me, I was like, okay, so we can do this, so we can do that. But I would also like to ask that you said something. Is it possible or is it true that there are some businesses that cannot really work? Like from what you have said, if you put in systems, they should run like auto run and all. But are there some businesses that yes, you have the system, but I don't know how to put it. I don't want to use the word they will not work without you being there. I'm into education right now, and I've seen that where there are no inputs, majority of the schools that I have seen that they have kept their consistency and all of that. Their owners are always around. When they are not around, it's not like when they are not around physically, but they are around, if you understand what I'm saying. And for the schools that they are left in the hands of other people, like I have an instance now, a school principal went on midterm and didn't come back after midterm. And this is almost end of term without a principal. And he's giving the excuse of, oh, I have a family emergency that I need time to sort out. So when you have, and I know that it also happens even in other businesses. Before I got into the education, I was in sales, importation, and all of that. And I know that people can just wake up. We had one of our staff that went to Jackpot, then went to the US and sent his resignation letter from the US that I'm no longer working. And also, I'm asking that in as much as I put system in place, is it also possible that even with the system, if I'm not there, this business might not thrive as I want it? Or am I supposed to give the business a time where I'll be fully involved, and then at some time it will be on auto cruise? So these are this
Okay.
is my question. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I think I
I do. No, it's okay. I understand. And I just wanted to say that this is my bread and butter. Because I know that so many people have told me that their business cannot be structured. And like I said, I just gave an example of someone who is a hairdresser. And I mean, they do my hair, completely structured business. I'm saying if a principal leaves a school and says they have a family emergency, first of all, there's a process for going on leave. Does the school have that? Because when we say a business is structured, it's a number of things that have come together to be that structure. And the structure that you need for your business is the structure that, the structure I need for a creche, it's an educational place. It's not the structure I need for a secondary school. It's not the structure I need for a university. So we need to build that business, build that structure with, first of all, the vision and the mission of that business in sight. What do I want to achieve? Ideally, if you have a principal and you have a structured business, you should have someone that the principal is expected to hand over to. When you employ someone, the person who jackpot from jackpot abroad, does he have a guarantor? Who signed up for him when he was resuming the job? How did he resign? What happened? All of those questions. I mean, there are many questions like that that need to answer. Some people are unruly. I'm not ruling that out. Some people are badly behaved. They really don't care. However, when there are consequences, many more people behave better. The school my daughter attends, except for maybe they have events, I don't see their school. I've never even seen the owner of the school in the nursery section, because they have nursery, primary, and they have a secondary school. So there's no business that cannot be structured. I say it all the time. I say it anywhere. And if you tell me one business right now, I will create a structure framework for you right now for the business. So there's really no business that can be structured. The intricacies will be different per business, just like the systems we are creating for our lives will be different, but every life can have a system and every business can be structured.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other person?
Question? Okay, so I have a question about this structure. I work from home, and where we are staying, they share the lights. We do off and on. That's 2 days on, 1 day off.
Okay.
And most times, I use the off for cutting and doing some other things. So at times, during the on, when we're supposed to have the lights, we don't have it. So it sometimes affects the work, except if I get fuel to just do it and all. So it's not making the whole system of a thing consistent. And because I work from home, at times, at night, if I see the lights like this, I have to work. So sometimes I work till around 3 a.m. and the kids will also go to school. I don't have a help for them. So it sometimes affects my productivity the next day, and sometimes they even go late to school and everything. And I don't want them to go late to school because money at how we used to say it. So please, how can I walk around
So this is it. So this is it. I mentioned earlier something about using your money to get some things work for you. You don't have power over whether they will give you light or not. For example, on your own day now, national grid has collapsed.
Exactly. You get
And
it
trust
right.
me, it does not concern your clients that national grid has collapsed.
Then,
So your best option is to factor your cost as though there's no NEPA in your house. And so you use Gen for everybody's clothes. So that from the very beginning, in your head, you always have fuel for your generator to do the work on the day you have to do it. And why I said factor it into your cost is that you might have not factored it into your cost, and so you are using NEPA. Again, you also might have not quite gotten your costing right, because even NEPA is money in some way. Because you work from home, you are looking at NEPA light in your house as free, so you don't cost it. And so it will affect the overall financials of your business eventually. So, I mean, everybody has been increasing price. So if you increase your price now, it's not going to concern anybody. And anybody that is annoyed, they are not your clients, because everybody can see what's happening. Increase your cost. Whether that is to add 1 liter of fuel or 2 liters of fuel to everybody's clothes. So extra 2K here and there, right? As part of your base cost before you factor in your profit and all of those things, which is story for another day. But for your base cost, when you add fabric, you add thread, you add what's that thing, workmanship, you add whatever, lining, all of those things, add fuel to it. That's the only way. So that way you sew within a particular time. You can put on the gen because you are paying for this fuel. You are not encroaching into the fuel of the house. You've paid for the fuel. And so you can sleep earlier. You don't have to work in the midnight, except for emergencies, which should actually be very rare, right? And then you can wake up on time so the kids can get to school on time, and then everybody has a good day.
okay.
I hope that's clear.
It's very, very clear. Thank you so much. I actually factored the NEPA bill into it before, but
Okay.
it's not even so much because the light here is not very stable like that. So I'll just look at factoring the fuel cost now into the indirect costs. Thank you so much.
Days that you have NEPA, you thank God. But
thank you. So who else? Any other person?
Yes, I have one thing to say. It's just
Okay.
to add to the question the other lady asked. I'm trying to look out for her name, but I can't remember her name again. Okay, so yeah, Defunke, is that what you said?
yes.
Okay, yeah. So she mentioned something. There was something she mentioned in her question. I don't think you really addressed that part where she talked
Okay.
about people being there, people being on ground, even when they have put a structure in place. You know, are there kinds of businesses where you don't have a choice than to still be on ground, even when you put a structure already or a system already? Are there kinds of businesses like that, and are there also kinds of businesses where when you put a system, you really do not necessarily have to be there? The thing can run itself with that system that you've put in place, but you don't have to be there. And then there are types of business where you just have to be there to still control that structure and that system. So I think she mentioned something about that. I think she mentioned something about that, and I don't know if you addressed that.
All right, thank you. So I probably just missed it out. So except maybe you are an influencer and you are the business, there's no other business that you have to be 100% available, because what being 100% available means is that if you are sick today and you can't pick your phone, that business cannot work. If that is it, you are the business, and it cannot last because it cannot scale. You can't multiply yourself. Meaning that, say you are an influencer and you have 12 clients and you have to shoot for all of them every day, for example. You can't take on more clients because you only have 12 hours waking period. Before you do transportation, you do all of those things. But if you run a, say, digital marketing agency, and other people can still do many things, and then you can continue to run. I struggle to find any business that cannot be structured, actually. And I feel like even if you're an influencer, for example, another person can do your contracts, another person can do the, editing your contract, reviewing your contract, sending your contracts out, all of those things. And all you need to do is to show up and be that face of the brand at that time. I don't think, I have tried to look for, and I've never seen any business that cannot be structured. But if somebody gives me an example and I look at it and I'm like, okay, I can't create all of the elements of a business structure framework for this business, maybe then, but I don't think there's any. I hope this answers the question.
Yeah, it does. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
All right, so we've taken a lot of time already. So I have a question actually. I said that first one I said so that people can maybe drop one or two questions they have. So there is something in the course of my research. Okay, there's a course I'm taking actually, and it's on leadership, and there are different types of leadership. There is a people-centered leader, there is a product-centered leader, there is a process-centered leader. So where exactly do you draw the line? Because I get sometimes, okay, like Onyade and I were speaking over the week, and she mentioned she's also a fashion designer, and like was asking, Irene, how can I actually have a routine that will really work? Because she has a baby that hasn't started school, and I'm also in the situation too. We have three toddlers, because sometimes you have a perfect structure, but you cannot structure a baby's life as it were. The baby can just wake up, and I, for one, don't really fancy the idea of signing up a baby for crèche so soon. So my children are usually 3 years, or maybe for someone like my daughter who was 2.5 when the new session started, we just allowed her go. Plus, I had the sister shortly, not long after I had her, so just so that I can have some breather, and we just tell her to let her go so she doesn't miss the whole session. So how do you find a balance between being process driven, being human centered, like people centered, and also finding a balance with your product, and not one is outweighing the other? You factor the human elements, and because everything can be put into a structure, really, it makes our lives easy. Like I run a meat sharing business, and I've not stepped into the abattoir in years now. There was a time when I just started the business, I had to be there myself. I would have loved to be, because like most times when people talk about structure, they talk about it like, you have to hire people, you have to, where is the money? We have not even started making profits that will be hiring people. So setting up a structure really helps. And now I don't need to be going to the abattoir. I just have to make calls. The people that are handling logistics, the people that are handling the sourcing, the people that are handling the what's it called, maybe the materials I'm using, and also I have that structure in place. But there are certain aspects of our lives that are human driven. Sometimes it's very difficult to find a strict routine that really, really works. How do you find the balance between that three? Yeah.
Okay. If I get the question right, the question is she wants to set up a team. However, she's not sure if she's ready. Is it on the home front with the child, or on the office, on the business front?
So it's mostly on the home front. I don't think she has capacity to hire yet, because she hasn't really gone into her business fully after she had a baby. So it's
Okay.
mostly the home front and the business kind of, yeah, factoring the baby, and yeah,
Okay.
like that.
All right. So what I say is that You win some, you lose some. For example, I used to have a nanny, but right now I don't have one. What it means is that I'm going to have to choose what is very important and what I can do. It's not going to be like that forever. However, I need to understand that I cannot do everything right now. Whether that is the number of clothes I can now sew, understanding, since I cannot get a team, understanding that either I give my clients a longer time to deliver their items to them, or I take fewer clients so that I can, work within the period. For example, now she has a toddler that is not going to crash, that is with her every time. She needs to structure her time around that toddler. At least at certain times, the toddler will be calmer, except maybe the toddler is not feeling well. They will sleep at night, meaning that she might have to work at night. But look at your current reality and then try to factor what can work right now. For example, I had written my first book, Dear Business Owner, and it was really talking to business owners. But I realized that majority of Nigerian businesses actually are run as one-man shows with part-time people here and there. And that was what made me write my second book, because I wanted to speak to that larger group of people who I know actually running the economy, the informal sector. And so, for example, like you said, you have created a structure around your meat business, even though you don't have a team, but the people that cut the meat, they know the kind of neatness you expect. They know the kind of way that you're supposed to package the stuff for you to each person. And so maybe all you have to do is the supervisory role on that end. However, maybe you do maybe a digital marketing end that you have to focus on. And so while you are at home and your toddler needs you, you have to put that down and attend to your toddler, then go back to it. It means that right now, you probably will not be able to take on so much more digital marketing clients if you cannot get a team yet. You have to streamline the kind of meetings you're able to attend. Means you cannot maybe go out to have meetings. You can only do virtual meetings, or on the days once in a while when you have to go and do physical meetings, maybe it's a high profile client and all of that, you get someone, maybe all these on the spot nannies that you can pay because you believe that the money that you will make from that client is worth it. Get an on the spot client nanny that goes with you, holds the baby while you have your meeting. These things are possible, but you win some, you lose some. Sometimes you would have to spend money. Sometimes you have to decline the money to be with the family. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. That was spot on. That was spot on. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I think we've come to the end of the session. Let me hand over to Funke. Yeah.
Yes, we have come to the end of this very session. Thank you so much, Madam Oyindamola Ayodeji-Oni. Thank you for the insightful session. And
Thank you for having me.
Ma?
I say thank you for having me.
So one thing I would be taking away is to implement and improve. Because without implementation, we have not learned anything. Thank you very much, ma'am. We are moving over to the next session.
All right. So I will just say here that like I said, I'm on the Power Moms group. If you have questions, please send me a message. I would attend to them. Many people know me as a pharmacist there, so please, if you have a question, you can send it to me. I would answer as soon as I can. Thank you very much.
So you're a pharmacist. Wow.
Yes, she's the one.
Thank you.
Medical consultation. So you say your baby has that on the book. The one that gives us prescriptions. right. So thank you so much, Oyindamola. It was a really, really, really insightful and really impactful session. I love the way you were able to find a fine balance between those in business and how to actually apply this to our personal lives, because we cannot overemphasize this. Even God Himself, He set up structure, our digestive system, our circulatory system. All these systems actually help our body to function. But if God created us and He decided to go, you guys will decide when you want to go to the toilet, so you decide when you want to breathe, and you decide when you want to your blood to pump. The system cannot function. And when we actually see these things, like how these things actually apply to our personal lives, our lives to be easier and seamless and, like they say, automated. Right. Thank you all for coming today. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
Damola. Thank you.
You're
Bye,
welcome.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
We rise, we shine today. Together we pave the way. Breaking fears, breaking chains. Strength in numbers we aim. Skills we build, we grow. Upscale every flow. Talents, pride we showcase. In the space we find grace. Support circle, we stand tall. Women power, breaking walls. No quotas, just pure might. Shining through every fight. As we sway, every skill, every art, together we make a mark. Breaking norms, breaking seals, true power we reveal. Not just numbers on the board, but talent finally roared. Support circle, we stand tall. Women power, breaking walls. No quotas, just pure might. Shining through every fight. As we sway, every skill, every art, together we make our mark. Breaking norms, breaking seals, true power we reveal. Not just numbers on the board, but talent finally roared. Support circle, we stand tall. Women power, breaking walls. No quotas, just pure might. Shining through every fight.